The long dark spread across the surface like a bubbling tar, blotting out the sun. So many died on that day, lost in the inconceivable abominations that reclaimed the landscape. It has been years since humanity was forced into hiding, buried underneath the surface in a bid against total extermination. The old gods are dead, buried in our colosseums and monuments to our hubris and endurance. Our gods are silent, but the earth remains alive. Long have we survived on the fringes of annihilation, banked in all corners of the world, nestled and sheltered in our cages of iron and steel. We were once the kings of our world, but now we find ourselves dethroned in an exile. The surface is lost, reclaimed by the long dark above, and we are losing food and water by the day. Our civilization dwindles. With each day we pass underground. Friendships now turn to blood feuds over crumbs of molded bread. Sons begin to kill fathers over barrels of dried meat, and the waters are going dry. There are those that dare dream of other worlds that are not bound by bone and stone, of open lands where fruit once grew, and the streams were once bright with life-giving water. As mankind has done before, they find themselves hustling for ascendance, to bite into the forbidden fruit that the surface once yielded. Some say that it is foolhardy, a death sentence for those that dare brave the cavern paths above, which are uncharted and full of terror. But it is those that refuse the certain slow death of the underground world that call themselves the Luminate, the Lanterns, the Lightbringers. They seek to pave the way back to the surface in order to reclaim what was once lost, no matter what the cost.
So, the last time we met with our merry band in this grimdark post-apocalypse universe where everyone's forced into caves and everything's terrible forever,
Yay!
The group actually saved one of the foragers that were from the new town that they were exploring called New Hope that was just outside the boundaries of the ordered government area. We zoom in on our party. They just got off talking to Azimazan and her friend forager Marcus, who you guys saved from the thralls of an eldritch vine of some kind that kept telling him about how great the surface was and how he was really wanting to share that information with you.
What a lazy vine. That vine could have easily endeavored its own pursuits to get to the surface and break groundside.
See, I just thought it was a giant pitcher plant and the mouth was above ground, and that's why it wanted that dude to go upside so bad.
Ooh.
Possible, but yeah, basically it's nightfall. The bar has kind of cleared out, like early morning, so most people are like going to bed. So yeah, you pretty much have the tavern to yourself now.
Carric, do that light show again.
Alright, I'll cast dancing lights again.
Ah.
Try and keep up morale.
Embrin sips her beer and enjoys the dancing lights.
Wait, we have the tavern to ourselves. Does that include the bar?
Pretty much,
Oh,
yeah.
fuck yeah. See y'all later.
Sure, if you want to rip off Azim, you can totally do
God
that.
damn it. Is she around? I'll gladly pay for it.
Yeah, she's in the other room tending to Marcus.
Okay.
Just leave some money on the counter, it'll be fine.
Oh yeah, totally.
Yeah, same.
I mean, you want to do it, you can do it. I'm not going to stop you. I'm just the ethereal voice in your head.
Look, I may be a barbarian orc who just vies for the surface, but even I have courtesy, so I'm gonna go see her and tell her that I'm gonna take a couple drinks and just put it on my tab.
Yeah, sure. And she's like, waves you off.
Oh, because she's still tending to him, right?
Yeah, she's in the middle of some really complicated healing thing. There's a lot of words and, whooshing hands.
Okay.
You don't really understand it because you're not one of the magic folk.
Right. Okay, so I'm gonna drink, as I want to do.
Crust, did she tell you the rate?
She did. Couple of copper for an ale, silver for the mid-range stuff, and, 10 silver for, the really, really good stuff, like the rare vintages.
I'll leave 10 silver.
Okay.
Same.
So you can ethically take about 10 silvers worth of alcohol of your choice. That'd be one fine pour from that really musty, almost darkened black bottle, tucked away in a secure corner. That'll be 1 glass. You can have like 10 glasses of the mid-range stuff, which is kind of like strewn underneath the books that are full of lust and or of. Yeah.
I just want 1 swig of the really good stuff.
Okay. You pour the fine, like darkened black, almost like molasses like colored outside of the bottle. It's very opaque. You're not really sure if that's actually what's going to come out, but you pour it and it's this nice golden amber drip that kind of just comes out of the bottle, titrated just right so that it hits the right angle of the glass so that it accentuates the undertones of whatever the flavor is.
That just sounds amazing.
I'm getting the sense that Krusk has a future of the beer equivalent of sommelier here.
Yeah, he could be like a beer steward.
Yeah.
Krusk's Planewalker beer god.
Is 10 silver 1 gold? Is that the conversion?
Yeah, that's the conversion, yep.
Yep.
Okay.
Most people don't carry around a gold in their pockets, so she kind of, assumes that you don't know what a gold is worth.
That's fair. Embrin is leaving 10 silver on the counter, but kind of in a manner of paying it forward. She's definitely not drinking that much tonight, and is actually going to favor the weaker caliber beverage in light of how I think the last time she tried the really excellent stuff, as good as it was, it kind of messed her up. So, in the interest of just being at a pleasant buzz or hum to kind of reflect on things that have happened, Embrin's just kind of like trying to mellow. So she's watching the lights, sipping the. Is the mid-range stuff like less potent, shall we say?
They're clearer bottles. You see that the liquid inside kind of looks a lot like water. Not sure if that's what's actually contained in them, but it's stacked up the alcohol, so shrugs.
We'll try just the one and see how that goes. Also, she's putting us up. Like, I can't not,
Yeah, it's a really quaint. It actually, the branding looks a lot better than the good stuff that was tucked away. It's like this frosted glass type of snowflake print that's been crafted onto the actual bottle. It's a nice, thick, sturdy glass bottle with a nice widening neck that kind of turns into like you've seen like the top of a wine glass before, like a stemmed wine glass
bowls out and flutes in a little.
Yeah. It kind of flutes out a little bit, but just enough for like a stopper.
Embrin actively reflects on the idea that is that what snow looks like, because she doesn't know.
It's true.
But yeah,
it's true.
Glass in hand, dancing lights.
Yep,
this is a mood.
Krusk, yours tastes like it's the same beverage you had before.
Yeah, I kind of figured.
Yeah, no, it's the same good beer that you had that made you really happy the last time.
Fantastic.
Yours tastes very thick with potato.
Awesome.
And then it kind of fades away into like this bubbly effervescence that kind of tingles your tongue, kind of like you're giving it pins and needles.
Not as weak as I considered.
Nope.
Just the one will be fine, I'm sure.
Yeah, we feel pretty good. Krusk, you can hold your stuff. It still feels pretty good. Like you're in a good mood.
Okay,
you guys just drinking? You guys sitting by the place? I leave the floor to you.
I'm done drinking for now, so I'm go back and meditate on the last journey, because there was a lot of crazy shit and a lot of crazy technology down there that we saw.
It's true, yeah. So Krusk has excused himself. I'm assuming that Embrin and Carric are kind of sticking together?
Well, I'm doing the Dancing Lights show for a little bit, but obviously not quite as mentally engaged in it as before, probably because I'm not completely wasted this time. But
I'll probably do it.
After a few minutes of that, Carric is gonna, like, cut it out and stand up and, like, if you'll excuse me, Embrin, I have to see to my studies before bed.
Of course. We have to go back out tomorrow, don't we?
I do believe.
Yeah, where do we go? I mean, I know there was, like, a path we didn't quite touch. Like, we took a certain fork and then we...
Perhaps our friend whom we rescued will have some ideas once he is convalesced.
That is the mind I know well. One Carric Stormwind.
I just kind of snort at being called young, considering, like, how much older I am than Embrin.
I just said, that's the mind I know so well. I'm calling you smart, because I think you have a good idea.
Yeah, no, I get it. I'm just saying, like, at being 80 years old, I kind of snort, and I'm just like, excuse me. And I wander off to the room to focus on my spell book for a bit.
Okay. You go up the stairs. It's, like, a set of solid wood stairs, which is kind of surprising to you, because you're like, That's an interesting expense. And you go up the stairs, and basically it's a, like, piece of plywood that's been kind of fashioned into a door that burrows into what you appear to be a cavern inlet that they just kind of blew out. And those would be the rooms.
Oh, wow. Huh.
Interesting.
I mean, you gotta do what you gotta do.
Why am I picturing, like, the first cairn you go through in Skyrim?
Yeah, it's kind of like that vibe.
With the Draugr, like, they're in the wall, and, like, if it wasn't dead bodies, it might actually be kind of cozy. You know?
Yeah.
And I guess also if it didn't have that militaristic, everybody stacked up kind of feeling.
It's pretty much like a narrow tunnel that burrows deeper into the rock, and it's just full of those similarly placed pieces of plywood over what appears to be like a carving to, rest your
In
head.
this world, right, is it, when you see things like stuff made out of wood, does that mean like high quality stuff? Because I imagine you would have to get that stuff from the surface, right?
Yeah, or like had artifacts from, before the time.
Oh, okay.
So
That's pretty dope.
Actually, things approximating plywood would probably be more common because only the outside layers need to be actual wood in their entirety.
I did my research.
Yeah, a lot of people don't realize that plywood is actually ancient technology.
Oh, yeah?
Really?
I never knew that.
Yeah, Roman shields were made out of plywood because for certain purposes, this is me being a carpenter, I'm sorry. For certain purposes, you can actually get a lot more strength out of plywood because you alternate the direction that the grain is facing on each layer. So for something like a shield, it's actually pretty strong and fairly lightweight at the same time.
Oh, I never knew that.
Yeah.
Da-da-da-da.
Yeah.
The more you know.
A lot of the doors you were seeing in the town are similar in nature, except these are more apparent that it's more paper thin, because, like, you don't need that much to cover a bed.
Right.
Krusk, that's probably where you would be. You were told that your room, quote-unquote, was B2. You go down the tunnel, and you see that it's going down alphabetically in the language that you guys speak.
Oh, yeah.
And you get to B2, which is, like, further in.
Okay, cool.
And it's just like a section of beds that are labeled as B2.
Okay. I'm gonna find a bed and pick a bed and just crash. It's been a hell of a mission.
Alright, Embrin, do you want to do anything else? You're alone at the bar right now.
I am. I think Embrin is reflecting on not just the prior mission, but like a lot of the things that have happened. It's kind of like a switch has been flipped and now her life is completely different. And while she can't deny that it's in some part of herself, she wanted something like that, it's still kind of a lot, but, there's really no going back now. It's kind of been... I think it's a mix of things right now, because she's...
Right.
Like, she's still young, right?
Right.
And because of circumstances, she's felt that there's been an occasion to rise to, like, that she has to be mature, that she has to be strong all the time. So there's really been no opportunity to be young and stupid. And now it's like, alright, well, I guess we're gonna do the young and stupid thing to the extreme too, and...
Yeah, cram in 15 years worth of adolescence in one night.
Yeah, why not? Why not? Like, or just, go completely rogue, throw responsibility aside, completely change trajectory on life and on purpose and goals, and see if we can make something that, frankly, is like a unicorn to be chasing after happen. Because we're talking about the surface, aren't we?
Yeah.
That's, figuratively, quite a unicorn.
So how many glasses of potato stuff do you want to drink tonight?
I think Embrin's gonna get halfway through her second one before she realizes, yeah, I can't be that stupid, and then she'll stumble off to bed.
Okay.
Full of thought, but recognizing, maybe if I just sleep, it won't be that messy. She'll consider, like, looking in on Azim and Marcus, but decide, I'm in no shape to help. I don't even have any spells left, and just... yeah.
Yeah. Do you peep your head in just to see how they're doing?
I don't want to, like, disrupt anything, so as quiet as I can be, like, even if I can't even get the door open, even if I just listen at the door, yeah.
Okay. So you press an ear against the door, you hear chanting in some language you don't know, and kind of whooshing noises in the background, very soft.
Sounds peaceful in a way.
Okay.
It seems like this is gonna be a while. because she's kind of uttering the same words over and over.